Hey YouTube, it's K Cash. I'm so excited to be back. I have so much to tell you guys. I don't even know where to start. I think I'm gonna post my graduation video before this one. In that video, I say that I'm gonna explain why I haven't been active on YouTube. My mental health comes first. Basically, the last month of June, it was just very hectic. There was a lot going on. I was finishing up high school, so I had work to make up. The retrograde that was going on really got to me. It's from the day it started all the way to the end of the retrograde. I realized a lot of things I was doing, and I realized a lot of things about myself. It was just very messy and very emotional. This video is gonna be about the truth about spirituality / how I started my spiritual journey / debunking some myths about spirituality. I've been holding back on doing a how I started my spiritual journey video for a minute now. I don't even know if I'm really gonna get in depth because I'm still not healed from certain things. I feel like crying right now, so that's not the mood for today. I've just been seeing a lot of things on social media, and it's been... people make it seem like you can't be spiritual and you can't believe in God at the same time. I really hate when people are ignorant and closed-minded and they think just because you are spiritual, like, I don't really like to consider myself spiritual, but I'm just like, it got a bad connotation because of social media, TikTok, and all of people think just because you're spiritual, you can't believe in God. You're not religious. Automatically you don't believe in God. I'm just like, where did y'all get this assumption from? In all my videos that I have posted, I'm pretty sure in every single one of my videos that I posted, I always say I think the Most High is going to give me the platform to be able to do what he wants me to do. They like to attack people just for somebody having a different belief than what they do. I'm not gonna sit up here and bash an atheist for them not believing in God or not believing in the Most High. That's dumb. They have a different perspective on life, a different outlook. Everybody has a different perspective. Everybody's living in a different reality. If that's what that person chooses to believe or go with, then that's on them. I'm not gonna judge. I'm gonna be like, oh damn, that's tough. But I'm not gonna sit up here and like, oh, you're an atheist, I hate you. Like, you do your thing. Do your thing. You can still be cool. Just don't gotta talk about that topic since we don't have it in common. I just feel a need to say in my video because I do love the Most High and I'm thankful for everything that he does for me. I want to say that I do believe in God. I do believe in the Most High. And I think this is gonna be my first and last time speaking on this. So on to the next. Truth about spirituality and how I started my spiritual journey. First of all, what I want to start off saying is I see a lot of people on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. I just started my spiritual journey. I seen videos and just wanted to become spiritual or like, I don't know what they be saying. A spiritual journey is not something that you start. It's not something that you just wake up one day, hey, I'm gonna be spiritual. No, it doesn't work like that at all. Actually, when people hit me up saying, hey, like, how do I start my spiritual journey? How do I become like, I'm just like, I don't really know what to tell you. 1. 2, a lot of these people on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, I don't want to say you have to have abilities to be spiritual. You don't. I don't want to say that. But a lot of people that claim spirituality don't have abilities. You're spiritual, but you just repeat what other people on YouTube or TikTok or say. That doesn't make you spiritual. Or you studying spiritual beliefs and spirituality, it does not make you spiritual. I feel like a lot of people do that. A lot of people's not gonna like what I'm saying, but I'm saying the truth. What was I talking about? It's like when I do these videos and I be filming, it feel like I'm in autopilot. I don't know, it feel different. Like my soul talking. I'm not talking, my soul is. Facts. That's what it feel like. It feel like my soul take over and start talking. And you guys wanted me to talk about my spiritual journey, so I'm gonna talk about how I didn't choose this path. It chose me. And I didn't even know what spirituality was. Weird things just kept happening to me. I was just like, why are these things happening to me? What's wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? I know there's nothing wrong with me. Weird things still keeps happening to me. I have my times and my moments when I'm like, is there something wrong with me? Like, am I okay? I don't talk about it to a lot of people. damn, I said I didn't want to cry. I don't talk about it to a lot of people because people fear what they don't understand. People fear what they don't understand. Let's say you could play basketball. You could play basketball really well, but I can't play basketball really well. Just because you could play basketball really well and you could play it, that doesn't mean basketball doesn't exist. It exists, I just can't do it. I'm just not able to do it, and I'm just not able to play it. But you are. That's the same thing about having certain gifts. Telekinesis and being able to read other people's minds and being mediums where you could see entities. Just because one person could do it, you can't do it doesn't mean that they're lying. It doesn't mean that they're crazy. It's just they could do something you can't. When I was younger, I see these mediums on TV coming to people's houses and saying they spoke to like their old grandfather that had passed away, and you know, I'd be like, these shows is fake. Niggas is lying. You can't really see entities or see ghosts or read people. I used to be like, wow, y'all niggas is cat. But stuff started happening to me. I'm just like, y'all niggas is not cat. And everything is vibration. I seen this video yesterday in a Rastafarian and he was saying that everything is vibration. Within his beliefs, when people pass away, they're no longer visible in our spectrum. They move away a couple spectrums, but they're still there, if that makes sense. I want to see if I can insert the clip, but I don't want to get copyrighted. But I'm gonna see what I can do, because he explained it better. This is gonna be a long video. Let's go all the way back to 2018. Towards the end of the year, I had went through a traumatic experience, and I stopped living with my family and started living with my grandmother. And during that time, I felt like I had nobody. Damn, I don't want to cry. Like, whew, I still have work that needs to be done. It's like every time I get in front of this camera, I don't want to cry and I end up crying. I had went through a traumatic experience at the end of 2019. At the end of 2018, I had stopped living with my parents and I started living with my grandmother. And during this time, I felt very alone. It was a very painful time for me. I was very depressed, the most depressed I ever was. And I mentioned this in my why I went vegetarian, why I stopped eating meat video. I think I mentioned this in another video as well. I'm on my menstrual, so excuse all the emotions you're gonna see in this video. I didn't want to be here anymore, and I would pray. I would pray to the Most High every single day to give me the strength to keep going. And I don't know. Alright, I'm back. I think I'm still not healed from this. I know I'm still not healed from this. I'm working on it. I need to do some work. And I need to do some inner work. And I still need to heal from some things. Because every time I try to talk about this, I cry. It's okay to cry. But I'm going to get through this video for you guys. Even though it's, as you can see, it's hard for me to talk about. Where was I at? Yeah, so I was living with my grandmother. It was a very hard time for me. I would cry all the time, like out of nowhere, the most randomest times. I'll be in class, and then in the middle of the class, I would just start crying. I would like run to the bathroom, like go to the bathroom. I would hold it and then go to the bathroom and just burst out in tears and then just start crying and then pray. When I tell y'all, I will put my heart and soul into that prayer for the Most High to get me through that. Like, it's just the worst feeling ever. I ended up gaining a lot of weight. This is when I was still eating meat. Like almost 30 pounds in a few months. I went up in weight and I never weighed as much as I weighed when I was depressed. 2018 and 2019. Now we're in 2019. The beginning of the first 3 months. This is why I wanted to like hold off on doing this video. Maybe I needed to do it to confront some things that I've been avoiding. A bunch of other spiritual videos kept coming on my page. I thought nothing of it, just started watching videos I never considered myself spiritual then because I was just watching videos. I thought I was just educating myself. And then when I decided to clean up my diet and become vegetarian, 2019. When I became vegetarian is when stuff started to happen to me. Like, I started to experience weird experiences. That's when I astral projected. I've been lucid dreaming. I don't want to talk about other things because, you know, people, they gonna try to put, like, my worst fear is being put in the psych ward. Niggas is not getting me, respectfully. People that have certain abilities or they gonna try to label you as crazy, and they gonna try to put you in places because they don't want you trying to warn others about certain things or tell other people about certain things. Most people that are labeled as crazy aren't crazy. The whole summer of 2019, I was still very depressed. I thought I wasn't, but I still was. I was less depressed, where I could actually do things and I could actually go out. In the beginning of 2019, I was so depressed, I couldn't even leave the crib. I was in the crib all the time. I would make up any and every excuse to stay home. My last video I posted with the hood, the college, and the fake friends video, it was about how, like, when I would smoke, certain experiences would happen. So that year, I was still trying to smoke weed, even though I knew it wasn't for me. And it was this one time I was going outside with these group of people. Well, they were about to go smoke. I was completely sober. There was this boy. He was very enlightened. I think his third eye was open. I was sitting in front of him, and I'm getting chills. I'm about to cry because I kid you not, I was sitting in front of him and I wanted to say something that night. I kept wanting to say things, but I kept holding it in and I wasn't saying it. Or, like, I would never speak up for myself in certain situations. And I was thinking something, but I wasn't saying it. He looks at me like he's reading my mind, and I'm completely sober. He looks at me, he says, "You keep a lot in. You have a lot that's on your mind that you don't say. You should start saying it." He looked at me in the eyes and said exactly that. Out of nowhere, randomly. And I didn't know this boy. I didn't know him. I think that was like, I seen him before, like during a birthday party. That was my second time ever seeing him. This boy didn't know me. I didn't know him. It was crazy because when he said it, it's like he read my mind. Like, that's exactly what I was thinking. He said, "There's a lot you don't say, and you need to start saying it." He looked me in the eyes and said that. He said something in that nature. It was like a weird moment because it's like nobody else around me seen him say that to me. But he said it to me. Everything around me froze, and he just said that. You know, it was just so weird. Y'all, after he said that, I was scared to think around him. I was scared to have thoughts around him because I knew he could read my thoughts. Every time I seen him after that, I was scared to think. I was scared to have thoughts because I knew his ass could. Everything went back to normal. It was like nobody else heard what he had said. I was creeped out. I was so creeped out. I'm like, how did I ask one of the other girls I was with when he left? I'm like, he just did some weird stuff. Like, is his third eye open? And she was like, he has abilities or whatever. So I'm just like, this was before my spiritual awakening. This is before I was becoming, you know, spiritual, but I wasn't spiritual yet. I was still at a low vibration. A few months into me becoming vegetarian, I noticed like changes with my body, blase. You go watch my why I became vegetarian video. Quarantine. Around March 2020, I was fasting in the summer of 2020, cleaning up my diet. So I guess all the toxins had removed themselves, all the major toxins removed itself from my body. I don't know if I'm making sense. This video is gonna be all over the place because I'm trying to do it in chronological order, but I was fasting a lot last summer, and I noticed that while I was fasting, my body would feel tingly, and especially like when I would be asleep, a week or two after I would fast, I would have dreams like about things happening that I'm not gonna speak about, at least not yet. But I spoke to a couple people about it. I'm not gonna say who. I really don't trust the internet, and I don't trust the government. Like, if you know too much, like little baby said, he's scared to say too much because they gonna get him. I would have like prophetic dreams about things happening, and I didn't think anything of it because I was still at a low vibration. I wasn't vibrating at a higher level yet. So I'm like, these are just dreams. Like, it's just a weird dream that I had, you know? But now that I'm more aware, I'm like, those were them dreams. Until there was one night, I was sleeping, and my aunt turned on a light in the room. My body was like My soul wasn't in my body. I had astral projected out of my body without knowing. Because at the time, I didn't even know what astral projection was. She turns on the light and I see she turns on the light, but I can't move my body because I'm not in my body. My body is just laying there. And like, I come to a full realization that I'm not in my body. Like, my soul, like, it zaps back to my body. Like, it just felt like a, you know when the ambulance come and they do the I forgot what it's called. It look like irons that you iron clothes with, but it's not. I forgot what it's called. Excuse me. But they put it in and they zap the person's chest or whatever. That's what it felt like. My body just with my soul. And then like, it was like, that's how it felt. That's how it felt. Like when I jumped, my whole body jumped when my soul went back in my body. But I didn't know what this was. So when I woke up, I was scared. I didn't know how to react to what just happened. I had ended up telling my aunt that happened in my sleep. And she said, I think you astral projected. And I'm like, what's that? And I Googled it. I seen what it was. I did some research and then she told me if I could help it, don't do it again. And don't intentionally try to do it. So that was that. She said that other things could try to steal my body. That's not gonna happen. That will never happen. So therefore, I never did it again. And I didn't intentionally astral project that night. It just happened. I wasn't even jacking. I was spiritual at the time. Crazy. I see people posting that crystals is demonic and it be the crystals that's... I didn't have no crystals at the time. I didn't have nothing at the time. All I had was just myself. I wasn't into spirituality. I wasn't jacking spirituality. And I still astral projected out of my body and I was having these weird dreams without the crystals. That's another thing. People be trying to say, oh, it's the crystals that's making your life like this and that's... If it's the crystals, how come a year ago I was having these experiences without the crystals? And I didn't have the crystals. It don't make sense. Next, my weird dreams started at the end of 2019 into 2020. I had like 1 or 2 weird dreams at the end of 2019. 2020, I just had a lot of weird experiences with dreams, astral projection that I told you about, and then with lucid dreaming. I started being able to control my dream and realizing that I'm dreaming, which was a little odd for me. But I said in the beginning of the video that spirituality is not just... I hope I'm recording. Spirituality is not just something you wake up and you start doing. These things was happening to me without me even realizing it happened. Like, it was happening. It was all unintentional. I didn't do it with intent. I never picked this path. This path chose me. So that was 2020. I would dissociate. I think that's what it's called. But I would feel like here, but I'm not here. And this happened back in 2019 too. Back in 2019, in January, February, when I was depressed after the traumatic experience, I felt like I could feel, but I couldn't feel. Like, I felt like I was in autopilot. Like, I was here, I'm here, but I'm not here. I would look in the mirror and I didn't recognize myself. And I told somebody that too. Like, I told them that when I look in the mirror and I look at my reflection, I don't know who I'm looking at. Like, it was in 2019, before I even knew what spirituality was. It's like I would feel like so disconnected from the person I seen in the mirror. I don't feel any connection to them. And then this is before I was even vegetarian too. 2020, I started working 2 jobs and I started feeling the same way again. And I would feel like I'm in autopilot. I'll be careful. I'm being very selective of what I say and what I share on here because people like to diagnose people with stuff and I'm perfectly fine. People fear the unknown. Around June or July in 2020, that's when I really said, that's when I put a label on it and I said I'm spiritual. I ended up with crystals somehow. Started watching underground YouTubers that are spiritual and that go through similar things that I do. At the time, regular people around me or other sleep people around me, I can't talk to them for an explanation of what's going on with me. YouTube was my friend. And these YouTubers, like Enoch, I'm gonna put names of some YouTubers I watch on the screen. They helped me out because some of them was going through similar things that I experienced and they was talking about it. I'm like, oh, so I'm not crazy. That's really it. Like, it's not something that just happens to you. It's an ever going and growing experience. I'm still going through my spiritual journey. I'm still learning. A lot of things is still happening to me. My intuition is on point. Like, I could fake read people's minds. I know that sounds crazy, but I know what you're thinking before you say it. About to text or call me before they text and call me. I'll have dreams about stuff, and a week later, a day later, dream comes true. Or I'll get an intuitive thought about a person, and that intuitive thought will be accurate. Very accurate, actually. A lot of stuff like that, and I'm still going through it. I'll go to sleep and I'll get downloads. Some spiritual YouTubers would talk about how they would get downloads when they sleep, and I always used to be like, what do you mean? Till I started going to sleep. I told you, like, not only the dreams, I would get downloads. I started getting downloads now. I haven't had one in a minute, so I know the next time I get one, it's gonna be crazy. But when I go to sleep, I get the answers to anything and everything, but it comes in pictures. It comes in a bunch of flashing pictures. So I'll be in a state where, like, I'm asleep. I know I'm asleep, but I'm up. And I wanna know the answer to something. I'll see the answer in pictures. It'll be like a bunch of flashing pictures. People take Post-its and they draw them pictures, and the pictures add up to something. So it'll be just like, it'll be like this. So that's what my downloads look like. My intuition never lies. I know a lot about people and their intent. I don't want to talk about this. I didn't really want to talk about this all on YouTube like that, because I'm sharing something very personal with y'all. I'm opening myself up to potentially be targeted by entities or other individuals that may not like what I'm saying. Perfectly healthy. I'm perfectly fine. I'm not depressed. Nothing is wrong with me. If I go missing, if anything happens, the government, stay hydrated. I've seen the movie The Matrix, where Neo he woke up or whatever and chose the correct pill, and he seen things and them agents was after him. And when you become aware of certain things, a lot of things try to attack you. People have spirits, entities attached to them, and they may not know it. It's not them. It's them demons attached to them. Yeah, so all these other YouTubers talk about how they started their spiritual journey. A lot of them is not being real with y'all. A lot of them is not telling the truth. A lot of them aren't really spiritual. They just watch and study spirituality and then enact it or claim it, or they did, I don't know what. I just feel like a lot of people on YouTube is cat. A lot of y'all cat. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna say how I feel. A lot of people just recite information and say they spiritual, but they would just recite facts that they read on Google. It's weird to me. People be making it a trend on TikTok and Instagram, all of these things, and I don't want to be associated with that. That people be like they're spiritual and they're in their spiritual journey. It seems like it's some cool, exciting, fun thing. It's so innovative and new and cool. And I'm on my spiritual journey, and it's not like that at all. It's not. So these things happen to me, and I can't talk to people for an explanation of like what's going on with me. I were to speak about all the things to a regular person, they'll put me in a psych ward. One person can do something that you can't do doesn't mean it doesn't exist, and it's not a thing. It just means you can't do it, or you're not on that level of consciousness yet. I don't know how many times I was like, I don't want it. I don't want these abilities. I don't want to be able to see things in my dreams. Like, that kind of hurts my feelings and my ego. Like, for real. Like, I don't want to see certain things. I don't want to know. Sometimes ignorance is bliss. I feel like this is a blessing and a curse. A blessing because it's a blessing. I know stuff. I could avoid stuff. A curse because it's me going through this alone. I can't talk to nobody about this. And it's scary sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. It's scary sometimes. But I don't want to vibrate on that level of fear. And I'm not gonna vibrate on that level of fear. I noticed when I became vegetarian, I was able to see more. I don't know if it's because my body is cleansed and I'm not eating certain things or what, but definitely when shit started happening. I mean, it was kind of happening when I wasn't, but it was still foggy. Now things is more clear. Over a long period of time, it started to progress. More things just started to happen. That's my spiritual journey. I don't really know what else to say. I'm still learning and growing and maturing. So you guys are now here to learn and grow with me, and I'm here to help people that may be going through something similar or have similar experiences. You could just relate or just want to watch for entertainment. You know, that is my truth about spirituality. That was it for this video. If you like, please like, comment, and subscribe. Give me suggestions of videos you guys want to see down below, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. Give me